Hey everybody, it's SaskiaSketches, and today I'm going to be telling you about my new sketchbook. So, as you all have probably seen last week, I filmed a sketchbook tour of my newly finished sketchbook. That one was a what's it called? A Kanzen mixed media XL sketchbook, and I really adore those. I mean, the paper in it is amazing, and I love how they take watercolors and everything, and how many pages are in it, because it's like 60 pages. Or like 120 if you fill a sketchbook like me and you cover basically every single inch of the paper. But then I could not get one because I usually order these from the German Amazon, because I live in the Netherlands and we don't have them here. And if I order them from the German Amazon imports it from America and then sends it to me in the Netherlands. So in order for me to get one of those cool sketchbooks, I really need to, it needs to cover a lot of ground, basically. And I couldn't get one for some reason. They don't sell them anymore on the German Amazon. At least they don't ship it to the Netherlands. Or they didn't at the time of me finishing a sketchbook and needing a new one. So I was distraught. I was devastated. I mean, these sketchbooks are... I've searched for so long for the perfect sketchbook to find it, and then I finally found it. One that works for me, that does everything I needed to do, and then it isn't. I can't get it. I can't get it anywhere anymore, and that just sucks. So I saw that they were temporarily back in stock, so I'm really excited for that. I'm probably going to order like 3 of them in advance to make sure that I have at least a few to use, so I can go on for a little bit longer. But now I was forced to get a different sketchbook because I couldn't get the one that I really wanted. And sometimes that's not all too bad, because you can discover something new and maybe find something that you really do like, maybe even better than what you had before, what I had before. Yeah, so I got, after long hours of searching for the perfect sketchbook, couldn't find anything in the Netherlands, at least, because we don't do big mixed media sketchbooks other than Strathmore. But I don't like Strathmore, I really don't, because their mixed media paper is awful. It doesn't work with watercolors, so what else you can use it for? Because mixed media is usually for wet media, so like ink and markers and paint. And if a sketchbook doesn't work like that, then why do you call it mixed media if the paper doesn't work with that? But it doesn't really matter. Eventually I decided to get the Molotow original one for all professional sketchbook. It has almost 100 pages, which is really cool. And that's all I wanted, but it has a special coating that apparently doesn't allow alcohol markers to seep through the other side of the paper. And if you know anything about alcohol markers, you'll know that that is revolutionary. Never before have I ever seen a paper where alcohol markers do not bleed through. And I have not tested this out yet, but I am so incredibly excited to see if this is actually legit, because I don't think I'll be doing much watercolor work with it, because the paper that's in this sketchbook feels a bit like a I think I would describe it as a magazine cover, basically. But it's so odd. It feels really like it would be quite nice with like markers and water-based markers as well, and I'm incredibly excited to try it. Yeah, so I really hope it works, and if it does, then maybe I've found another sketchbook that I really like to use. even though not being able to use it with watercolors. I haven't tested it yet, but it's just, I mean, I think it's likely that it doesn't really work with any like watercolors and stuff, but maybe I'll be pleasantly surprised, so I'll still try it. But that would be cool because I can get this one in the Netherlands. It is a pretty expensive sketchbook though. I thought this one was about somewhere between 20 and 30 euros, so that's a bit on the expensive side. But if it really does work like as well as it claims with alcohol-based markers, then I think that would be amazing, and I think it might even be worth the price, to be honest. Yeah, so this, it says here that this sketchbook is especially developed for alcohol, acrylic and water-based markers and even spray cans. So basically most of the stuff that Molotow does, because Molotow makes like acrylic markers and spray cans and stuff. Yeah. So I wanted to decorate a cover because obviously it's a big black sketchbook, that's so boring. I wanted something cool on there. So I didn't quite know what I wanted though. So the first thing I did was I did a lot of thumbnails in the first 2 pages of the sketchbook to see what I liked and what I didn't, and then I came up with 3 really cool ideas that I thought, like, yeah, okay, I want to have, I would be quite happy to have any of these on my sketchbook. Then I couldn't decide. I did not know which one I really wanted, which one I liked the best. So I put it up on my Instagram and I let other people vote for which one they thought was really fun, because I had one with Kling and Clang and one with what was it again, with a dragon, and then this one with me and Tan, and then eventually I decided, okay, I really want to do this one with Tan jumping across the pages, or like across both sides of the cover, and I adore the way this came out, because my plan was to try and paint on this with acrylics, because I find that usually works, only it doesn't really, if you have one of those sketchbooks with a very glossy cover, then acrylics are not the best medium to use on that. But this cover was pretty you know, a little bit rough, so I presumed that acrylics would work quite nicely on that, and they did. It really looks so good, and they were so vibrant, the colours, and it didn't even matter that the cover was black and stuff, because it was so opaque and it looked so good on there, and I absolutely had a blast painting on this. Only the fire was a bit translucent, I think, as the I mean, it was mostly yellow that I painted on, so the black shone through a little bit for that, but I still really like the way that looks though. Yeah, so next time I think I might just do like an under painting of maybe a white or a yellow before I start the actual fire. But for the most part, I really adore the way this looks. I'm so happy with the way it came out, and yeah, you'll just have to wait and see till the end. But I love how it came together, and I did a little bit of line work, not too much, and some details in white as well with a white gel pen, and oh, I just love how it came out. I really love the way this looks, because it just screams me. It screams my artwork, and it makes me so happy. Yeah, so yeah, it was a little bit tricky to paint all this on both sides at once, because I mean, you can't put it down because then you'll smudge the paint on one side, but you can't really hold it flat all the way either, because you need to get in the cracks as well from in the folds, and it was pretty tricky, but it was fun as well. And again, I adore the way it came out. I love working with acrylics, and I had a blast making this. And I cannot wait to test out this sketchbook, and I will let you know how well it works with markers and stuff, and if it's really as amazing as it claims to be. because that would be incredible, and I think the world needs to know about that if it's really the case. I did not look up any reviews. I probably should have, but I think it's alright. I think it will be okay, because you know, Molotov is a pretty high quality brand, right? So I have a pretty good feeling about this. I mean, like, I'm so excited to start this sketchbook. I always find it difficult to finish a sketchbook, because I think I've said this before, but I love you know, working in a sketchbook for a long period of time, and then when it's finally full, yeah, then what are you gonna do next? Because you fill this entire sketchbook and it's full of all your artwork, and you've poured your heart and soul into the book, and now it's finished, and how do you start a new one? It's always a bit difficult for me. But you know, starting, just getting you know, getting started, and just you know, pushing through that, it's usually you know, it usually works for me if I just get started and it just you know, begin decorating the cover or drawing the first page or something, and then I'll be like, yeah, okay, I'm really feeling this new sketchbook. And that's what I really feel or felt as well whilst painting this cover, because it was coming together so nicely and the paint was working so well with the cover, because I painted a few covers with acrylics before, but sometimes the acrylic just doesn't stick with the sketchbook, or it's too wet for the sketchbook for the cover to handle, or whatever. But I am just loving how you know, how well the cover took to the paint and everything, and it makes me just so happy that it all worked. That it all worked out. And I just, again, I really, you know, I'm really excited now to start this sketchbook, because, you know, it already feels, you know, better to start a sketchbook that already has some art of your you know, your own art on the cover, right? Because it you know, just a blank black cover, that's just boring, man. And it doesn't feel as exciting to pick up as a sketchbook that has a really cool, lively, decorative cover, which is why I'm always a huge fan of you know, custom cover decorations as well. Yeah, I'm just really excited to start this sketchbook, officially started, because I've already drawn some thumbnails, like I mentioned, on the back of the cover, because it has some really gorgeous orange paper as like the back of the cover and stuff, and I drew some thumbnails on there. I already have an idea for the first page mapped out. I think I'm going to be drawing a big dragon with like a very detailed marker piece with a lot of layers to see just how much marker this paper can handle, like alcohol marker specifically, and because I'm just really excited to see if it actually works, because, you know, it's always been a struggle to find any paper that, you know, doesn't immediately die when an alcohol marker touches it, because it's very difficult, and I've never really found anything that works well, except like Bristol board works well, but it still bleeds through to the other side, and this paper just you know, it claims not to do that at all. So I am very, very, very excited. Like, I can't wait, and I'll definitely keep you guys updated. I don't think I'll film the marker piece that I'm doing first, but I might, because I've already got like a lot of things pre-filmed, a lot of new video ideas that are coming out and stuff, and I don't want to have too much to work on, basically. I mean, I like to have to plan maybe 1 or 2 videos ahead, but not that much, because I might get confused in which ones I want to upload first, and then a scroller box may come in like, hey, still need to do this as well and stuff. Yeah, so I like to go with the flow a little bit more. Yeah, I just love how Tan's mane came out, because it doesn't, like, it's pretty difficult to paint fire with acrylics, because you know, it's a lot easier with watercolors because you can just use the wet on wet technique. But when you're using acrylics, it's not as flowy as watercolors. So I love how it came out because it looks like autumn leaves almost, and something like that might come from the film Coco from Disney Pixar, and I really love the aesthetic of that film. Alright guys, thank you so much for watching this video all the way to the end. Please leave a like on it if you enjoyed it, and subscribe to this YouTube channel for more art videos every Friday. Have a great weekend guys, keep on sketching, bye!